Smith, and I'm undefeated. Alright, so I've been talking about it, wanting to do this, and now that I have the time, I'm going to do a quick live, and I'm going to break down the ballot proposals for New York City, because I live in New York City, and I feel that it's best that people know what they're voting for. I usually don't get involved in this stuff. You already know how I feel about the general election. And I figured I'd just break it down. I know a lot of politicians and a lot of people have been, getting the word out, but I figured I'd do my part too. So, like I said, while I have a few minutes, I'm going to just get into it. So I have my laptop in front of me, and I am going to basically break down each and every ballot proposal as plain as I possibly can, because there are a lot of people who may get confused, they may not understand the wording, and they just might vote for something that they don't know what it really is. So that's really the main reason why I'm doing this. So I'm just gonna let's just jump into it. Okay, so I am on the nycvotes.org site. That is the website for New York City voting and elections. You can also check that out as well. I will put the link in my story as this live as soon as I know it's live. And that way you can see it for yourself, you can judge it for yourself. And I'm not putting this on anyone, I'm just putting the information out there as it is in front of my face. So, let's go from here. Alright, so it says NYC voters will see 6 ballot proposals on the ballot in the general election on November 5th. You can find that text will appear on the ballot for each proposal below. I was going to basically put the paper ballot on live and everything, but I don't know if that's okay, and I doubt that. So I'm just going to read it from there. So basically, it's to help educate New York City voters before they head to the polls. We will include public comments and support and opposition to each proposal in the online voter ballot, allowing voters to see arguments on both sides of every issue. It says please check back soon. Okay. So, ballot proposal number 1 is adds to certain protections to the state Bill of Rights. And it says the proposal adds protections to the state Constitution Bill of Rights to prohibit discrimination on the basis of ethnicity, origin, age, disability, and sex, including sexual orientation, gender identity, pregnancy, and pregnancy outcomes. It will also protect New Yorkers who seek to access to productive health care from discrimination on that basis. Okay, this one is pretty much cut and dry and very simple. So they're basically saying that everyone is protected within the state of New York if they choose to have reproductive health care and they have access to it. They're basically adding not just a one group of person or one people. They want everybody included. That's as plain as I can tell it to you. So that is number 1. That was not the one I was actually talking about. There are several others that our lovely mayor here in New York City, Eric Adams, is basically trying to change the city charter, which is basically our version of the Constitution. So I'm trying to see exactly is this what it is, right? Okay. So yeah, okay, we're gonna get into that. So the first one is basically human rights and reproductive rights, and whatever your stance is on that, you vote for that. And you go from there. So I believe that is a hot button issue, and people can go either way about it. My personal opinion on it is, if that's what you want to do, and that's your life, you go right ahead. From my perspective, I'm religious, not religious, but spiritual. I believe in God and everything, and religion, and I'm not gonna put that on anybody, but I believe that, that's what you want to do is what you want to do. But it basically says it right here. They want to basically add everybody to this and protect everybody. So if they have the need to have these reproductive health care, they access to it, then, they'll be able to do so. So that's as plain as I can tell you about it. So let's move on. Ballot proposal number 2 is cleaning public property. No. But anyway, it says the Department of Sanitation would have the increased authority to keep all city property clean. Really? Huh. Including parks and highway medians to hold street vendors accountable for their rules at these locations. It will also allow DSNY to regulate how New Yorkers put out their garbage for collection. Okay, so I am in a private house, so I really don't have no say over that, and it's not my house anyway. I'm renting, so it wouldn't necessarily affect me. It would affect the owner of the house. But in instances where there are people who own businesses and I would guess, is it public property, that will affect you. And it's basically saying that the sanitation can pretty much tell you when to do it and how to do it and when they feel like doing it, and that's a hard no for me. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. I don't think that is cool. I mean, it's bad enough they cut back on garbage pickup anyway. I know in my area they only pick it up like 2 days out of the week. So there's one day they'll pick it up, Monday night, and the Tuesday they'll pick up the recycling and the garbage, and then Friday is pick up the garbage. So I don't know where it is anywhere else, but that's bullshit. That's real horseshit. I don't understand how that works, but it's out there, and that's just my opinion on it. Again, I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm not putting it on you. I'm just showing you what it is. So that's for the first one, human rights. The second one is cleaning public property. Basically, they could just pick it for your garden. If they feel like it, they can sweep and do it, you want like that. Yeah, I mean, it may be okay, it may not be, but personally, I'm good with that. That's gonna be more of a headache as it is, because it's bad enough we don't have a lot of garbage pickup, as I said. So that's something that you want. Again, I'm gonna put this link in the bio as soon as I'm done. We're gonna go to ballot proposal number 3, and my daughter waking up, so we have to wrap this up soon. And my wife will have her. It's fine. It is live, but let's see. Ballot proposal number 3. Additional estimates of the cost of proposed laws and updates to budget deadlines. Okay, now we're getting to something. Okay, so the City Council provides cost estimates of proposed laws before voting on them. Obviously, that's where they decide who gets what. So, the proposal would give the Mayor's Office of Management, here we go, Mayor's Office of Management and Budget the opportunity to provide its cost estimates for proposed laws and require the Council to publish their cost estimates before public hearings on proposed laws. This proposal will also require the City Council obviously here in New York, to formally notify the Mayor's Office before public holdings. Something else. Or votes on proposed laws. Lastly, this proposal would extend the deadline for certain budget reports in the first year of a mayoral administration and permanently extend the deadline for mayor to publish their annual budget. This is all him. It says it right here. It's right in your face. So basically, he wants everything to go through him and his office. And he doesn't want anybody else to say or do anything unless he has to first saying, it's basically talk about it and wants to get and do it first. So it's just about money, obviously, and the budgets have been passed on time mostly here. So it's also been a power struggle between the City Council and Mayor Adams as well. So this one in particular, I'm gonna say hell no to it. And I would personally do that. That's just me. And this is something that people need to really think about and consider, because this is basically saying basically they can bring up their own numbers or their own numbers, and the numbers don't have to match up to the city's numbers. And if they don't think it's right and they don't feel like it's right, and they can have a meeting on it, a public meeting on it, but the mayor he can decide when this meeting is going to happen, how it's going to happen, and if he doesn't have it on time, basically he can extend it. So I would personally, I'm just gonna state the facts. I'm not gonna state my opinion on it anymore because I don't know the guidelines and the rules on that. So I'm gonna leave that alone. But personally, no. So it's your own prerogative. I'm just gonna put the information out there and leave it to you. So let's move on. Okay. Ballot proposal number 4. More notice and more time before votes on public safety legislation. The council must give 30 days notice before voting on public safety laws that impact the city. Excuse me. The council must give 30 days notice before voting on public safety laws that impact the police department, Department of Correction, or the fire department. During this time, the mayor and the affected city agency may also public hearings, to hear additional public input. So, all right, they very much broke it down for me, so it's not really that hard to understand. But if we want to make it more plain, this one is basically saying the council must give the mayor a month for deciding on police, corrections, and fire department. And they figure they got to hold hearings on it first. Again, that goes for ballot proposal 4 and 3 go hand in hand, because that is also part of the city budget where money is divided with these agencies and see who gets what and all like that. So 3 and 4 go together, And that's something that we have to consider. And like I said, the more power he gets, the more hold he gets on things. It'll be a lot harder to get around them. And if he is removed from office because he has stated that he does not want to resign and will not resign, he's going to quote unquote reign. Yeah, whatever. You can leave that to your own imagination. But that is better proposal 4. Let's keep going with my daughters. So I'm going to have to wrap this up soon. We have 2 more proposals and then I'm going to call it for now. So let's go. Ballot proposal number 5, capital planning. The city must assess the cost of maintaining city facilities, infrastructure, investments, and publish these assessments in capital plan reports. Basically, wherever this money is going and whoever's spending it on it, whatever buildings they're building, whatever investments they're making, whatever things going on for them, whatever they want to make, whatever they want to put money in, they have to show it out. They have to show it right there and there so everybody can see. I'm alright with that. I'm alright with that. So, because, I mean, honestly, people don't know where their money goes, honestly, and people just doing what they want to do. You already know what's going on with this Michael crisis out here, and he's been challenged on that as well by the city controller, and a lot of unallocated funds have not been found. They're still trying to figure that out and everything. So, I think that's also part of the indictment, that he has several charges that Mayor Adams has. And I still don't understand for the life of me why this gentleman still has a job. Because if it was you or me, like I said before, we wouldn't have a job, we'd be in jail, and we wouldn't have a trial until they say it's like that. So, that's all I'm saying. Show us where the money's going. This is actually not as bad as I thought it would be to break down. But I'm glad I did it because, a friend of mine had told me that this is something I should talk about, something I should discuss. And, I'm glad I did it. And take that as you were. And, I just believe that some people just don't know, man. Like, they get caught out there, they're like, oh, I voted for that. I'm like, well, yeah. Sometimes it does happen. Some people just don't care. They just go down the line, and that's their prerogative and all that stuff. I'm not telling you who to vote for. I'm not telling you who to vote for. I'm just stating the facts, and I'm just putting it out there to make sure that whoever don't understand this is right there, plain sight, in black and white. So, ballot number 5 proposal is basically about where the money goes and how it's spent on city facilities. I'm assuming that is parks, infrastructure that would be construction buildings and stuff like that, investment and things that basically people spend money on. I don't know if a lot of people remember that portal that was I think downtown New York City. They spent a whole bunch of money on that, and that was a waste, because not only did people do obscure things on it on both sides of the pond, but it was just there, and it was an eyesore. And why would people spend on this? That's what I'm thinking they're talking about, like things like that. And, there's a lot of parks out there that need fixing, and I take my daughter to the park and outside, and some of these places, they're terrible, and they need to be fixed up and cleaned up. So I don't believe that every park is bad. The ones that we have out here where I'm at, they're okay. They could be better, but they're okay. So that's how I see it when it comes to that. And finally, ballot proposal number 6. Minority and women-owned businesses, enterprises, film permits, and archive review boards. The proposal will create a new role to support MWBEs, basically minority women-owned business enterprises, that's the abbreviation, and allow the mayor to designate which agency issues permits and merge 2 boards that manage the records into one. It's a toss-up for me, but as a former entertainer, I should say, I'm really not into comedy like that, but I do have friends who do acting on the side, and I've been revolved around women all my life, especially now. But let's go back to what's at hand with basically what it's saying is that he basically will appoint this person, and he will say who gets to film what and where they get to film it. And I didn't know that there was just one board. I'm gonna look into this as well. I'm probably gonna do a second part to this video, but it seems like he wants to control every damn thing. Not only the city and what's be done with it, but apparently he wants to mess with TV and film too. I figured he was arrogant, but I didn't think he would go this far. But it seems okay. So you can look at this 2 ways. The first way is that as him being an African American person, and he's looking to procure African American minority votes and women votes, if he believes that will make him look better and get those votes because he is running for re-election. And this passes, he can make it look good, so that way he can get back in the office. That's one way of seeing it. The other way of seeing it is if you're down with that and you are on the other side of the fence, you're out in the dark. So this basically means he wants control over that. And I believe it's already expensive, very expensive to shoot in the city. As you know, rent is sky high here. So, a lot of filmmakers and all that stuff personally choose not to shoot in New York City because it's gotten so expensive. That's what I've been hearing from people that are in that industry, people that's friends of mine, things that I've noticed. So if that's the case, then that doesn't do anything for anyone except for those who agree with him. Wow. So those are the 6 proposals for for the ballots on the back of the ballot, because you have the front part, which is basically for the general and several offices that are in the city, just like any other part of the country. You got general election basically for president, and you have all these other offices that they want you to vote for. So, like I said, here in the city, flip that over, and you got to read those things through, and you have to decide yes or no. And that will decide basically what the city's going to be like in the next year and beyond. So it is not only probably going to affect next year, but it will see how, because the mayor election is for next year, and there are a lot of people going for that office, including the incumbent, as I said. Will he make it? It's entirely up to, I guess, his trial and Governor Hochul. I talked to another friend of mine about this, who believes that she's not going to do it. I had to disagree. It seems like, I believe, in my opinion, that everyone's just waiting to see what happens with the general, because everybody's focused on that, and that's okay. But there's not more going on than just the White House. So we have to understand that, as people from New York City have to understand that, because we don't deal with the president directly, or the vice president, or his cabinet. Not even my own, not even the senators and the representatives of the House. Mainly the House. Mainly it's on the battleground. You have to basically deal with your city councilman, the mayor, obviously. People that is right there in your neighborhood. So I'm in Queens, so I don't know who actually is my city council person, but that's something to look into. And like I said, I'm not in this politics stuff, but this is important. Like I said, this is what everybody needs to see what's going on, and pretty much it's on y'all. It's on all of us to see what we're going to do when it comes to that. So I'm going to wrap it up for now. To those that have been watching, I thank you for watching. I thank you for viewing. If you haven't followed me yet, go ahead and click on the follow button. That's the Aaron Smith right here on IG. Also check out the YouTube, which is also the same name, the Aaron Smith. I just did a whole show with shout out to Here It Is Roman of the Roman Productions. We discussed this very topic of the election and Trump and Kamala. So there will be a part 2 to this where I will focus on the general, and I'm going to be as neutral as I possibly can, because I have friends on both sides, and both sides have told me their stance and where they go, how they're going to do. So, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it plain to everyone. I don't believe that anybody should influence your vote. It's your choice. How you want to go and vote for somebody, you go ahead and do it. No matter who you vote for, that's your right as an American, period. Now, on the other hand, there are some people that don't give a crap about that, and that's fine too. That's also your right. there are consequences to actions, period. Voting, not voting, period. That's just common sense. And I understand people are stressed out and, oh, what if she gets in? Oh, what if he gets in? The bottom line is, regardless of that should be on the person who decides to vote for either candidate. It should not be pushed upon by other entities to do such. It is the right of the voter to do so. It is what they choose to vote for. Period. And if you can't agree with that, no problem. That's just how I see it. And I'm just going to leave it at that. So once again, subscribe to the channel, The Aaron Smith. YouTube, The Aaron Smith, IG, and X, formerly known as Twitter, The Aaron Smith. All one word. Links in the bio. I'm Aaron Smith. I'm out.